Und der hat immer in solchen Landen am besten gebaut, der vertraut auf das deutsche Volk. Und das seid ihr.
Adolf Hitler addresses a rally of 50,000 members of the Hitler Youth in Nuremberg.
They are representing the 8 million members across the country.
You've got anything.
For God's sake, Jurgen.
S-A-D-O-T-H-E. E. Can you spell Hitler? Yes. Remember the possessive of Hitler's word. Don't use quotation marks.
Vorwärts, vorwärts, schnell die Hände fahren. Vorwärts, vorwärts, die Hände fahren. Deutschland, du bist heute stehen. Morgen wir auf untergehen. Vorwärts, vorwärts, schnell die Hände fahren. Vorwärts, vorwärts, die Hände fahren. Deutschland, du bist heute stehen. Morgen wir auf untergehen. Sie fahren, Flasche, Fuß an. Sie fahren, uns wieder an Verkehr. Wir marschieren, vergehen, weil wir tanzen mit uns. Sie fahren, die Jugend in Freiheit. Sie fahren, Flasche, Fuß an. Sie fahren, ist die Neuheit. Sie fahren, die Jugend, die Ewigkeit. Und wir fahren, ist für Hause
Following the regulation to protect musical cultural works of 29th of March 1939, the Reich Music Examination Office has declared the following musical works as undesired and harmful. Publishing, distributing, or performing these works is forbidden in the German Reich. The Lambeth Walk, your Broadway and my Broadway, swinging high and swinging low, swing for sale, the Dipsy Doodle, Adolf Hitler's favorite flower is the simple Edelweiss, pent up in the penthouse, swing low, sweet chariot, the full, flat, fluky, and all other works by degenerate Negro and Jewish musicians.
Vorwärts, vorwärts, schnell die Hände fahren. Vorwärts, vorwärts, die Hände fahren. Deutschland, du wirst heute stehen. Morgen wir auch untergehen. Vorwärts, vorwärts, schnell die Hände fahren. Vorwärts, vorwärts, die Hände fahren. Deutschland, du wirst heute stehen. Morgen wir auch untergehen.
Before we come to that chap's door, Adolf Hitler's favourite flower is the simple Edelweiss.
What about it?
It is not his favourite flower then?
I cannot speak for the Fuhrer on what he considers to be his favorite flower, though I believe all indigenous flora and fauna of the German Reich are dear to his heart. But there is no official statement on the matter from the party. Therefore, the matter in this instance is close, and the official verdict on the song Adolf Hitler's favorite flower is the simple Edelweiss stands.
But it's one of my favourite songs. I learned the words especially. My grandma loves me to sing it to her. Adolf Hitler, Liebling Nummer, ist es nicht ne Edelweiss? Adolf Hitler, Liebling Nummer, ist es nicht ne Edelweiss?
Quiet! I can arrest you for that. Do you want to end up in a concentration camp? Tell your grandma to find you another favorite song for you to sing.
Arrested? Will having the words in my head be a crime?
Yes! Unlearn them. Learn some martial party songs, and they will soon eliminate the words from your head.
And my grandma?
Must do the same. Ackerman, your hair is too long.
Ah, yes. Overcoming that chest Führer. I thought we could use it as a weapon on the battlefield to trip up our enemies. Overcoming that chest Führer.
You're clever, aren't you, Ackerman?
No! Overcoming that chest Führer. That's not what they say at school anyway. Well, tell them you said so. Overcoming that chest Führer.
You think this is funny, Baba? I expect all members of my unit to show proper respect to the standards of National Socialism. If you have no respect for yourselves, you have no respect for the country, the people, or the Führer. These transgressions won't just reflect badly on you, but will have to be taken up with your family as well. Penalties will have to be paid.
My father fell for the father in Stalingrad, Your Grandmaster Führer.
Then you, of all people, should follow his example.
But the Russians have it back now, Your Grandmaster Führer.
What?
Stalingrad, Your Grandmaster Führer.
What about it?
You wish me to follow my father's footsteps and fall for the father.
We will retake it, Stalingrad. Have no fear of that. And then our armies will be knocking on the gates of Moscow.
Then shall I wait toward the gates of Moscow? Or shall I sacrifice myself for revolt, weaken Führer now?
Do you doubt our ultimate victory now?
No, Grandmaster Führer, I want to die. I'm just not sure when and where.
Any more insubordination, and you might find it occurring sooner rather than later. However, dismissed.
You've got to watch it, Brendan. Don't rub out the wrong way. Especially not him. He's a weasel. He'll write out to the Gestapo as soon as look at you.
Get his own mother arrested and sent to a concentration camp for re-education. I'm not kissing anyone's arse, especially all that Nazi shit.
No, he's asking you to. Just fade to the background for us,
When am I going to start doing something about it? I'm fed up painting slogans on walls and big pamphlets for later.
God be patient.
That's all I hear. Impatient, impatient. Well, I'm patient much longer than I can won the bloody war.
Look, you'd be moving to anyone stuck in a prison cell.
Well, I'm looking to set up my arse here doing nothing now. I want to start doing something. I want to start hurting.
I never knew anything different. I was born in 1927. Hitler and Nazis, they were all I ever knew. Flags and uniforms. It was fun at first, the marching, going to camping trips. My parents didn't like it, but they didn't say anything. They couldn't. It wasn't until 1938, Kristallnacht. We attacked the Jews, their businesses, synagogues, anything. We were in State Park. Our troops smashed windows in that. Everyone was really excited. My parents didn't want me to go out, but I went anyway. I wanted to be with my friends. But all at night, through the crashing, the shouting and fires, as we walked the streets, all I could think of is how my parents had always taught me, never throw stones. It was dangerous. And I could hurt someone. I could hurt someone. That's when I knew. When I realized that this was wrong. That these leaders, the ones who brought us out to do this, shouldn't be telling us to do these things. They were adults, and they should know better. They told us to shout and do these terrible things, and they laughed. They laughed when we did them. That's when I got away from it. In my head, I turned my back on everything they taught me. They never knew. But my parents did.
These adolescents, aged between 12 and 17, who like to hang around late in the evening with
Always on the streets, demonstrating against the Nazis. All my life, all I ever remember are smoke rooms filled with people talking and arguing about politics. First of all, how to combat the Nazis, how to bring about the revolution. Then all went quiet. No more talk of Russia or Comrade Stalin. Suddenly our world was whispered and shadowed, hidden. The worry of my parents. Every time there was a knock on the door, it's as if we were waiting for them to come. We were always expecting, anticipated. And then one day they did. I was playing with my friends across the hall. Their boots came up the stairs. I saw them coming, climbing up their black boots, their shiny boots. They stopped outside our apartment and knocked. And I knew that inside the apartment, my parents would have turned to the door instantly. Knew. And then they would have turned to each other. I knew the look my father would give my mother, the look that would tell her everything would be okay. This always reassuring look. Not this time. I saw the door open, heard the screams of my mother, my father on the floor, blood pouring from his nose and his mouth as the black boots rained down on his face and his body. My mother being dragged along the hall by her hair, screaming. My father, he looked at me as he passed. Even through all the blood and the pain, the look, his always reassuring look, the look of my father, the look that told me all would be well. I never saw them again. They were both shot in Dachau.
about it. I mean, really thought about what it is we're going to do.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I hate the way you look. The way you treat each other with fear and suspicion. I hate what we've done to you.
Wow. How'd you like to move home?
I'm glad you're safe.
I'm sorry we couldn't bring your family as well. It would have looked too suspicious. We've got direct contacts with the railways. We'll know exactly where they're being resettled.
Thanks.
What have you got planned?
It's never unexpected. I just only just got here.
It's all right, Petra, he's right. But first of all, we need to make sure we can trust the others. I mean, absolutely sure.
Anyone parents to the party?
I'll just go now then.
I didn't think you.
Who did you?
We can't trust people just because they say they can be trusted. Nobody knows. You just have to be careful. We can't blame people for what their parents think. Even my father thought that Hitler was good enough for the country. Now he's on his way to resettling Camp Peace. We just have to be really careful. Dieter, whose place is this?
It's MacArts. He's serving Russian. He let the block light to know he'll be using it while he's away.
What have you got happening?
He's married now. They've got a place in Berlin. Besides, he knows it was a bomb. I told the block light to was using it for Hitler youth meetings.
And he believed you.
Of course he did. My cousin's a Hausmann-Führer in the SS.
Good.
The place of all this bomb damage. Unlivable. The one on this side too. That leads below, and that belongs to Herschel's. He's dead. There's a window in the bathroom that leads into a well area. That puts a rope for a quick getaway if the need arises. From there, a sewer outlet into the street systems.
Excellent.
Just stay away from the windows during the day. Keep the noise down to an absolute minimum, and do not use the radio unless me or the others are around. Understand?
What about going outside?
Maybe at night, but daytimes are out of the question.
It's like you said, we have to start being extra careful.
People sitting in staff will have got Jews, hunting Jews on the street.
Read you here. There was a pleasant couple of weekends. What was that?
We're being you. Now, business. We can let these bastards over someone else to ring again.
We just have to be careful.
Look what happened to the shovels. More bloody pamphlets.
Look, I think people know the truth. It's just as important as fighting on the streets.
Pamphlets are for kids. We are kids. All over Europe there's armed resistance. Where should the allies there are people here? We can fight back too.
How are you going to do that?
With this.
Where the hell did you get that?
I took it off the Nazi. They're only used them one.
You'll get your chance. We all will. But anything that we do that shows resistance, then that's important. Just make sure you're doing this for the right reasons. You know what will happen if we get caught. You know what you're getting yourselves into. If anyone wants to leave now, I'll understand.
My father is a Nazi. He always has been, right from the beginning. I never knew what he was like before Hitler. My grandmother tells me he was a quiet young man. I find that hard to believe. She said that the Kaiser's war changed him. But when he came back, he was always unhappy because he lost so many comrades uselessly. It came back to nothing, to chaos, she said. That's why he turned to Hitler and the Nazis. He believed that Hitler gave us back our self-esteem. He said we could hold our heads high in the world again. Everybody worked and nobody went without. He's so proud of his uniform. My mother went away. They argued a lot. She didn't like Hitler. She didn't want my father to be so involved with the party, but the party won in the end. It made me stay with my father. I can never forgive my father. Because he knows what he's doing is wrong. He knows these people are morally corrupt. He's very intelligent, but he believes in them so much that he's willing to sacrifice anything for it. Even his humanity. I think that's his greatest crime. That he knows it's wrong and continues to go along with the lies. I'm not like him. A lot of my friends are. I've never been scared by the Nazis. That's what they want, you see. They want you to be frightened. They want you to fear the loss of everything you hold dear. Well, I don't. I'd rather give it all up to see them finished.
Hitler has led Germany into a criminal war against its own citizens and the peace-loving nations of the world. It is imperative that the German population realize that following this lunatic will only bring death and destruction to the country.
You're getting good at this, guys. You're all mad. Get down to the shelter before you're all killed.
We're not going anywhere you can, Benji.
We'll be together, even unto death.
That's a very romantic notion, but large bombs make very messy bedfellows.
You still owe me a dance.
How's that going to look when they dig you out of rubble and find you in the arms of a dead Jew out here invaded?
We'll send the bomb man around cross.
Oh yeah, that's not shifted before the rain's over.
I'm coming too.
You're not. It's one thing getting caught,
How many things could we kill you for? Disagreeing with the damn vegan Jew, you pulled a cut in my head once.
Don't say such things.
I'll be fine.
Benji, no.
I'm going to don't try and stop me. So I'll never get out of this rat hole.
Alright, Klaus, you stay here and keep Petra company. And look out for Jurgen. He's bringing someone home.
What?
Here.
Who? He knows not to bring strangers. What's he thinking of?
You said no one else comes here. This is just for Benji.
We can't have more than two people in the same place. It's too dangerous. Tell them no. It's out of the question.
It's just for a few days. They'll sort something else out.
It's not fair. It put Benji at risk.
It puts us all at risk.
It should have gone through the route first.
You didn't have time. You got a message to me, I said it was alright.
Who is it? Is anyone vouch for him? Found out his background.
He's a soldier. He doesn't want to go back to the front.
That tells us nothing. There's plenty of Nazis who do anything to avoid being sent back to Russia. Klaus is right. You could be Gestapo. No, it's too dangerous.
I've already told Jurgen to bring him.
What do you think, Benji?
We can't turn people away. It's not who we are. He can stay. I don't mind sharing for a few days.
Thought you safer country to raid. This is Rupert Schreier.
What the bloody hell do you think you're claiming here? Are you a complete stranger here?
Something I thought. No, hang on, since when have you been making the rules?
Since about the same time you made the decision, start bringing in strangers without being vetted by all of us first.
I thought you didn't help me.
We do, but we do it together. If we're all taking the risk, then we make the decisions together.
There was no time.
Then you should have made time or said no. It's when we start bending the rules that mistakes happen, and we can't afford to make mistakes.
All right, both of you. He's here now and he's very welcome. Jurgen, introduce us to your friend.
This is Rupert Schreier.
You don't need to seconds.
Look, I'm sorry. If this is a problem, I can leave.
Stay where you are. I'm Petra.
Me too.
Klaus, and this is Benji.
There. I bet that made you feel very welcome. Take a seat. Don't worry about the bombs. We've got a special agreement with this church and it's been up on this house, but as you can see, Bisset hasn't quite got to do to his pilots.
You're in contact with the Edelweiss.
Of course. Mr. Churchill doesn't do anything without consulting us first.
He's joking, Rupert.
Some get our guests a drink. Do you drink alcohol? We do. The authorities are far too busy to concern themselves with underage drinking.
Thanks.
Jurgen, get our guests a drink. Drinks all right, I think.
In Russia.
Yes. I mean, all over. Didn't stay in one place long enough to get to know the name. Started near Kursk. I know that much. Ended up in somewhere unpronounceable in Poland.
Are you hungry? We've got some sausage. Do you like sausage? Petra, get Ruger some sausage. And some bread too. It's a day old, I'm afraid.
Thank you. All of you, I appreciate what you're doing for me. I don't want to put you in any danger.
What is it we're doing?
What's your utility matters?
Nothing.
Give
Put
her
it
a
down.
ring. Sing thanks.
Come on, he's coming to get us like this. Is that another budget?
I think I'll stay here.
Suit yourself. Come on, close. You two, Jurgen.
What are they?
What do you think?
You don't like what's written?
There's nothing wrong with what's written, but
What?
they're just words, aren't they?
Words are one of the few weapons we have at our disposal.
Yeah, but what real harm can leaf do?
The proof that not everyone's going to follow them blindly.
Really think after all they've done, they're really going to care what a few people have to say on some leaflets.
They're scared of words, Ruger. Words expose the lies, make them vulnerable. That's why they went to so much trouble to control words at the start of the war. When they realized they couldn't, they burned them, turned them to ash.
I'm just a soldier. I don't know about words or politics.
How can you say that?
It's what I am. I just do what I'm told to do, go where they send me.
You don't, do you?
What?
Go where they send you.
Don't like me.
That's why you're here with us. You made a personal statement by refusing to enter the fight.
That's it.
Yes, you did. You just said you only follow orders.
So?
Did you have orders that told you to desert?
No.
Then by refusing to enter the fight, you made a political statement.
I didn't want to die in Russia, is all I'm saying.
If that's not a political statement in this day and age, I don't know what is. You haven't eaten any sausage. Do you not like sausage? Petra, do you have any cheese?
How old are you all?
17.
I'm 60.
Klaus is 18, Dieter 17, and how old are you?
About 6 in the head.
Do you do all this yourself then? Make these leaflets and that, or are there grown-ups involved? What's so funny?
We're not laughing at you.
That's not true. We are laughing.
It's just grown-ups.
Come on. Making sure we wash our hands after printing. Where are they going to come and attack if you're over
There's no adults involved in what we do, Ricker.
So who are you with then? What are you? Communists? Anarchists? Christian Democrats?
God forbid, no. We're the Edelweiss Pirates. The Navajos of Cologne, I thought you knew.
You're just kids.
They're still scared of us, Ricker.
Scared enough to hunt us down.
There's no adults involved in what we do.
We don't trust them.
It was the adults that gave us the love.
lots of little doggy kisses. He's always excited when I read him the letters. It's as if a little fellow knows her from you. He's settled in with us now and is eating as well as he can under present conditions. But I think he still misses you dreadfully. Then what?
Tell them my coat's got a lovely shine and I stopped trying to paint it with those legs.
Look, I'm doing the best I can.
I'm better pretending to be a dog.
You can hardly be something left behind your head now, can you? Look, I know it's hard, Benji, but do try. I'm sure they really appreciate it.
Tell them that the bombing continues here. There's not much left of the old neighborhood, you wouldn't recognize it. Benji has no more playmates anymore because they've all been killed. There's not even a cat to chase.
They call that sabotaging the moral over fighting men.
What?
It's true, my mother's found was arrested and sent to prison.
Fine. Tell them that the bombing continues here, but I'm sure our funeral will result to our final victory. What's the point? I'm lying to them, they're lying to me. Hitler's lying to everyone.
You're their son, Benji. You'll always recognize your voice.
I wonder.
What do you mean?
I'm not the person they left behind anymore. Would they really know me again? After all we've been through, I can begin to understand what's happened.
Because you tell them and they listen. Because they love you. And that's what parents do.
I had a letter from my son Frederick. He's serving in Russia now. You remember Frederick, my eldest? He's a year older than your son Benji. Isn't it terrible, Mrs. Dressler, that it takes this horrible war for us to realize the love we feel for each other, our loved ones who can't be with us, our children? How we took everything for granted, thinking that our world would remain unchanged, that we'd walk through the door and all would be as it always had been. My boy tells me things in his letters he would never tell me at home. I'd like to share with you one of these letters he sent me a few weeks ago. It's something I think all mothers should hear from their sons. Dear mother, he wrote, although it feels like a vast distance that separates us, I've never felt as close to you as I do now in these dark times. Nor has the love I feel for you, Papa, and the girls ever been stronger. I do not wish to add to your sadness, but I only wish I could be there to help carry your burden. I love you, Mother. With every breath I take, with every part of my body. And I thank you for making me the person that I am. And I only have the strength to do what I do because of you and your love for me. My only wish is that I may look into your face when all these dark times are over, and this will all seem like a nightmare. I will look into your eyes and know that all is well and we are safe again. Take care of yourself, Mother. I kiss your face and pray that God takes care of you all. Your loving son, Frederick.
Between October 26, 1942 and October 28, 1944, German and SS police report approximately 46,750 Jews from Dresdenstadt to Auschwitz, Birkenau, and Westerbork and Antwerp. Fewer than 3,000 survived.
Extermination begins in Belgium. By the end of 1942, 600,000 Jewish men, women, and children have been murdered.
It is actually true that the Jews have, so to speak, disappeared from Europe, and the Jewish reservoir of the East, from which the Jewish pestilence has for centuries beset the peoples of Europe, has ceased to exist.
But the furor of the German people at the beginning of the war
see you.
I'll never get to see the world with the Black Hand.
What's to look at? It's all ruins now.
People. I like watching people I always have done.
What's the point of that?
When your life consists of four walls in this apartment, you start to fantasize about other people's lives. Who they're going home to, wives, kids, parents. What it'd be like to go strolling along the street with them again in broad daylight. To go to the cinema.
You're a Jew. You are, aren't you? Imagine that. A Jew. I'm living with a Jew. You don't look like a Jew.
I've shaved off my horns with my tail strapped to my legs. Otherwise, it's been a death giveaway.
I didn't know there were any left in Germany. They told us we were cleaned up. Jew-free.
Excuse me for saying so. You seem somewhat disappointed.
Me? No. No, not me. Never really crossed my path, the Jews. Never came across them, so never had to deal with them.
How would you know one?
The yellow stars.
It's all the reason we got to wear them. You didn't know I was a Jew.
You can pass. You must have some German stock in you. Aryan blood. That's what they taught us in school. How the Aryan race interbred with the minor Germanic tribes to create the German race. It's scientific, and I don't understand it all, but them others. The other types of Jew.
Yes.
Well, they've got more distinctive features, don't they?
Like what?
More pointy.
Pointy. You mean the reason we've been persecuted all these years is because we're too pointy?
Like I said, it don't bother me.
It should do. It should bother you that a section of your fellow citizens have been given the right to vote, to work to own businesses, not allowed to educate their children or practice their religion. And that was enough. Removed from their homes, placed in confinement in a foreign country. None of that bothers you the slightest.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but let's face it. You hardly see anyone on the streets demonstrating, do you?
You're too scared. I would be too.
But before all this, before the war and that, everyone knew what was going on with your law, Jews and that. Hitler made no bones about it. Wrote about it in his book, for God's sake. I know they knew the laws against your law. Nobody said anything then.
Your point?
Not just me, is it?
No. Not just you.
And don't forget, a lot of you people did all right for yourselves back in the 30s, when we were all on the breadline. You lot didn't suffer much.
Says who?
Says everyone. Everyone knows you lot always do all right for yourselves.
You really are quite an oaf, aren't you?
No need for that. I don't care is all I'm saying. Just surprised to find you still here. Would have thought you'd been shipped off east.
We settled. My parents and sisters have been.
How come you're still here?
They reason you're not a lump of torn flesh fertilizing Mother Russia.
Where were they sent? You found them.
Friedrichstadt.
Are they still there?
I have no reason to believe they're not.
I can see it now.
What?
You, a Jew. You've got the talk.
Have I?
Yeah, clever and all. With this law. You're the organizer, aren't you? You've influenced our thinking. I can see that. Clever. That's what your law were always good at.
I'm the most disorganized.
Organized than the rest of us.
I'm the most disorganized person I know. If I had been for Klaus and Petra, I'd be sitting in Friedrichstadt, my family getting bored.
Count your lucky stars you're not there.
If only racial stereotyping were true, I'd be much more competent and could look forward to a nice, wealthy Jewish future. Why should I count myself lucky?
What?
Just then you said I should count myself lucky I'm not in Friedrichstadt.
Well, you're here, in Cologne. You didn't have to leave.
But you said there, like you knew what there was like.
It's just a word, isn't it?
Is it? You know Friedrichstadt, have you been?
What's with all these questions? Who are you to interrogate me? Oh, you're trying to be clever with your words.
You haven't answered my question.
I don't have to.
You just have.
Haven't done anything. What are you trying to do? You're putting words in my mouth.
I'm being
What are you up to?
Jewishly clever. Well?
Well, nothing. I'm not answering any more of your questions.
You haven't.
Haven't what?
Answered any of my questions. You made a statement about my lucky escape from Friedrichstadt.
Oh, what do you want?
Whatever it is you know about Friedrichstadt.
Nothing. Everyone's heard the story. I'm no different.
What stories would they be?
Well, not stories, more rumors. They're just rumors about what was going on with your law.
What's that got to do with Friedrichstadt?
Some war veterans. It's all just for show.
You're lying.
I'm not.
How'd you know this?
I told you you'd hear things.
How do you know this? Get off of me!
What do you know?
Get off of me!
Not good enough.
I'll tell the others what you're doing!
What if I find yourself tied up outside with a note saying you're in a dark
You
time?
can't do that!
What do you know?
All right! I was there! I was there! All right? I know it's true because I was there. What's going on?
Becky, what are you doing?
Blood type tattoo is SS.
No! I lost! But I'm not anymore! I ran away! Liar!
Dustin! Hi, you bastard!
Becky, no!
Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know. I'll bring that myself. Put that thing away!
He's SS!
I don't care! Put it away! If it goes off, it's gonna bring more than the bloody neighbors banging the door!
Sit in that chair. You're gonna tell us exactly who you really are.
We were sent because we were available. We had no idea.
We walk through the streets.
Streets we've walked down for years.
Many streets are all normal. Everything's how it should be. Except for us. We watched the stars down, and then said it was talking about the past. We were at the Galashiels train station. We waited. My brother played. He was excited. We only ever came here before we went on holiday. That's what my parents told him, that we were going on holiday. My father cried when he told him. It was loud and cold. It was so cold and there were dogs barking, bright lights,
Soldiers shouting.
screaming. The children cried.
The pushed us down on the train.
Hit us.
Men.
Women and children. We had done anything.
They took away my life.
And my daughters. Never had time to say goodbye. I don't know where they took them. I just wanted to hold them.
They sent me and my wife to the left, but they took the baby from my wife's arms and gave it to my mother, who went to the right. My wife screamed. She wanted the baby. "Give me my baby back," she said. "You can't do this. It's inhuman. Give me my baby back." She ran to the other line and grabbed the child. They wouldn't let her rejoin me. I have her things. And the baby's clothes. Winter things. They'll need them.
here, Cologne. I recognize the accent. Funny. Didn't expect them to speak German. Made them more. They were waiting. It was chaotic. Fathers trying to keep families together. Kids crying. Others laughing. Playing games. They all had bags and suitcases, bundles. So much stuff. Everyone had something. All the time the dogs were barking. We were ordered to get them on board the cattle cars, slam the doors shut. And suddenly, silence. And a sound started. A low mumble or hum coming from inside the car. You could hear it even above the locomotive. I couldn't tell if it was humans. Whispers. Didn't sound like humans. But there was an anxiousness in it. A fear. A wonder. Sometime later we arrived at a town called Auschwitz. Marched them all off the train, separated the men from the women and children. Within 2 hours, they'd gassed all 2,000 of them.
You're lying!
I'm not. There are others like it where they killed them.
It couldn't be possible. 2,000 people. It's not possible.
That's exactly why it is possible, because no one will believe it.
You're lying!
I'm not. I've seen it. Seen what they've done to them.
No, I believe it. I know what they're capable of.
When did the train start leaving from Griechenstadt?
A couple of months ago.
When was the last time you got a letter from your parents?
Das wird ein Frühling ohne Ende, voll Blüten, Duft und Sonnenschein. Wenn du erst endlich wieder bei mir bist, mich zählt, dich küsst und nie mehr lässt allein. Das wird ein Leben wie im Märchen, mein blonder Märchenprinz bist du. In deinen Armen find ich Seligkeit, Vergessenheit und Ruhe. Heute bist du noch weit, doch die Zeit wird vorübergehen und mit ihr geht es leicht und wir werden uns wiedersehen. Das wird ein Frühling ohne Ende, voll Blüten, Duft und Sonnenschein. Wenn du erst endlich wieder bei mir bist, mich zärtlich küsst und nie mehr lässt allein. Ich warte so lang, mein Herz ist so bang. Jeder Tag ohne dich ist ein Traum.
I was bummed out of my house. It was terrible. I lost everything. Didn't have a thing left to wear. Only the clothes I stood up in. Nothing for the children either. Then one day, we were called together. The people in our area had been bombed and lost everything. We were taken to a warehouse. We had lots of clothes on rails. But all the case me. What were we supposed to do? We'd been bombed and lost everything, and we lost everything. Nobody said anything. We just started ripping off the stars. As I look back, when I left, the floor was covered with them. Carpeted. It was. In yellow dew stars. There was hundreds. Oh God, there were hundreds. God's sake, Benji, come on, leave it now.
No.
Please, come on.
Benji, no, they're right behind us. You've got to run. Come on, we have to go now.
Please, Benji, please, leave it. Did you do something?
Don't get off me.
This isn't the way, Benji.